PlayStation Drive is starting. While you wait, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon on YouTube to be notified of future goodness. If you enjoy our show, we'd love it if you gave us a 5-star review or rating on your podcast service of choice. To continue the conversation, join the Carpool Gaming Discord, where you can find a wholesome community to have a chit-chat with. For some exclusive content, you can also support us on Patreon. And finally, don't forget to check out the Carpool Gaming website for an awesome range of merch. Links to all that and more are in the show notes, but without further ado, let's get revved up for the PlayStation Drive. Whoa!
What's good, everybody? Welcome on in. This is the PlayStation Drive episode 161. Yes, folks, it's Palindrome episode. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Ryan, and I am joined by a smaller crew this week. We've got Fulia and Ron both here. I hope y'all are having a wonderful, wonderful Chunday evening. Fulia and Ron.
Sunday morning.
Sunday night is going well.
Well, you know what? It's close. It's close. You know what? It's close enough. For folks that are wondering as well, Matt is actually away and will actually be away for the next couple weeks because he is currently on vacation. So, Matt, of course, we're wishing you well. Of course, hoping you're having a good birthday celebration over in Europe, and we'll see you in a few weeks. So
that's right. See you soon, Matt.
Yep, absolutely. So until then, you're stuck with us, folks. I'm so sorry. You know, it's fine. It's fine. We're going to get through this. I told Ron before the show he's in charge of leading the way while Matt's away. So everything will proceed, you know, according to Ron's design.
You should probably tell them what I said when you said that.
You said you were so excited that you had this new responsibility.
Those are lies. Those are lies. Don't lie to the people. Ryan Turford ever lied to the people? Well, you just did. You just did.
Like, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. I mean, we in fact are the Pepsi Man fan club.
Oh,
thank you,
Rybo.
Oh. He knows.
Don't start this. Don't start.
That's
well, hey,
running,
you know what, Ron? The best part is, since we've mentioned Pepsi Man already, the Pepsi Man reference is out of the way, and I don't have to mention Pepsi Man again for the entire show.
I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. We'll find out.
There's still time to talk about Crazy Bus on the show, but maybe not Pepsi Man.
We'll see how much you fill your quota.
It's true. I mean, you know, I could create a banner, the Pepsi Man count. We could start doing that every episode as well.
Well, Sean is the Diet Pepsi Man, so...
Excellent.
Oh, my God. This is why I need Matt here. He's the only anti-Pepsi man on the crew.
Yeah. See, now Ron finally realizes what's actually wrong when Matt's away. Two Pepsi Man supporters up here. This
is horrible. This is what hell's like.
We're going to win him over, folks.
Oh, come
He's going to be
on,
a fan of Pepsi Man at some point, okay? He's going to be walking around and people are going to be thirsty and he's just going to be like...
Yeah,
and
that's not going to happen. No, sir. Thank you. Multipass.
Wow. Multipass.
I am still waiting for the day, actually, when Ron does a Fifth Element themed podcast where he talks about Multipass.
I mean, I love the Fifth Element. Don't get me wrong. I could talk about that for a while.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
But a terrible game, though. Did you ever play the game on PS1?
No, I did not. I heard about the game, but So sometimes you got to stay away from certain things.
That one is the real Multipass, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
I mean, it has a Multipass in it, and it's a Multipass because it's a bad game. So, see?
Oh, an Inception. Oh, that's what Multipass within a Multipass. Okay.
Yep. See, look, even your running mate's asking you to join us.
Rybo is my guy. He's my guy, but he is wrong on this one. Just like Various Day Life. It's okay.
Wow.
It's all right.
The cult of Various Day Life is going to be the newest cult that pops up. I can tell. I can feel it. Yeah. Anyways, we should probably, because I hear something at the door. What's that? Housekeeping. So, of course, we have new patrons over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Of course, Ian Vargas joining us at the ad-free all-in-one tier. Shout out to Ian Vargas. And also, OldMrFrump joining us at that gold tier. Of course, hitting that platinum, that gold trophy over at
Is
Patreon.
OldMrFrump actually an old man? Or is that just his name?
Look, I'm just reading the name verbatim off the paper. So who knows? OldMrFrump could actually just be a sentient gelatinous cube that signed up on Patreon. You never know.
It's a possibility.
Who knows? But shout out, of course, to our 2 brand new patrons over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, where, of course, you can get all kinds of cool podcasts like the Pants Patreon podcast for patrons podcast. Of course, Fulia had an episode recently. Garrett Bland, his episode came out this morning.
Yes, Dr. Bland.
Yeah, I already listened to it.
And then Seth, the bearded one, is up this week. So get your questions in for Seth tomorrow morning. As well, we have other podcasts over there, including Campfire and a whole lot more. So make sure to check out patreon.com/carpoolgaming. We have, of course, a 7-day free trial. So if you're interested in at least trying it out and attempting to listen to all of the content over there, you can't listen to it all in 1 week. There's too much stuff over there. It's like, I think the last time I went over the Patreon, it's like there's over 500 posts of content over there.
I was going to say, even if you went 10 times speed to try and get through everything, you won't.
You can't in 7 days. It's impossible. I don't even know if I could do that in a month, if I'm being honest.
It's better to have a lot of quality shows than none at all. Enjoy. Yes. That's what the Patreon is for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is the Netflix of podcast.
It is.
Patreons, clearly.
It is.
So much choice.
Everything that you need. One-stop shop. Carpool gaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you, Rod. I love that you try to sell this. You guys like a real advertiser.
Just say it.
Yes.
Just say it. It's truth.
Yeah.
We found our marketing guy.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, God.
Ron's in charge of all of Carpool Gaming's marketing.
Next time I'm just not going to say anything. What happened?
In fact, a crown comes along with
That's
it, Ron. So here's a crown.
It's a positive.
You're the
It's a
marketing
compliment. You're good at it.
Matt, please come back. This is what happens when Matt is away.
Yes, Matt, please help me.
Poor Ron. Well, anyways, let's grab our 8 tracks, pop them in. It's time for the playlist. Time to talk about the games we played this weekend. As always, we always start with Ron, not because he's the marketing lead, but just because we always start with Ron. That's just tradition on this show. So, Ron, hit us with what you played this week, man.
Got some time in with Trails Through Daybreak. Not as much time as I would have liked. My daughter kind of surprised us by coming home. So she's back from Germany, and I've spent quite a bit of time with her this week. So, the gaming time got cut down, but hey, it was a good reason why. I'm still enjoying Trails Through Daybreak, but the pacing is very different from Cold Steel. I guess because Cold Steel felt like even when you weren't doing missions, there always felt like something to do because you were spending time with classmates or whoever you were trying to romance. I'm still very early in Daybreak, but there is a lot of slow times in this one. And I don't know if I feel it because of Cold Steel, and that's the reason why. It's not bad by any means, but it is quite an adjustment as far as pacing goes. But like I said, when the game gets rolling and you are actually on the mission and battling and it's just the plot is moving, that's great. The downtime when you're doing the small missions and the side stuff is when it starts to slow down a tad. Some of the side missions are good. Some of them are kind of just okay. But overall, though, it's still a good game. Still glad I'm spending time with it. But like I said, very early on, so I'll see how much it changes once it really starts to pick up. Because I think I'm just like in the beginning of chapter 3, I think. And I don't know how many chapters there is. I think it's like 6 or 7. So we'll see how it goes. But having a good time with it still.
That's good. I'm glad you're enjoying it and you're still having fun with it. Even though, it's gonna probably I feel like this is gonna become like your Final Fantasy VII remake, Ron, where this could take a while.
I knew that was gonna take a while. I mean, my Trails games usually last hundreds of plus hours, so it's gonna be a minute. I'm already, I think, 57 into this. I think from the time count, yeah. So it's gonna be a minute.
Nice. Yeah, if you're at 57 hours and you're only halfway through, you're right. It's probably gonna be 100 hours to finish. It's a long game. Well, Fulia, how about you? What did you play this week?
So I didn't actually get to play too much this past week. However, I did play a couple of games that were gifted to me for a birthday present from last week. One of which was gifted to me by this guy down here.
Hello. It's me.
So Ron was kind enough to gift me the Journey Complete Edition, where it came with Flow, Journey, and Flower. And added a 3. I didn't start with Journey. I started with Flow. And I played Flow.
That's the only one I haven't played, so I'm interested in this one.
I haven't actually played Flow either, because that was like a PS3 like launch title. It was like it was a launch title for like the digital store on PS3. I remember it being a big deal back then.
Yeah, Flow is a very short experience. It's like it's less than an hour. So you can literally just,
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a really sort of nice experience where, but there's no dialogue. It's just really chill music. You're essentially little, what do they call them? Like,
you're like single-celled organisms. You're like amoeba.
Yeah, organisms is, yeah. So you're single-cell organisms that sort of like swimming through, like, just, I don't know.
Just substance, like liquid.
Yeah.
Like, basically like a bloodstream or
Jello.
like
You're
a
swimming
jello
through
or
Jello.
the ocean or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I remember it correctly, it's like a very blue game, so it might just be like the ocean or something.
It's sort of, yeah. It is very blue. It does go dark, like into like blackness the deeper you go, because essentially you're just sort of diving deeper and deeper into the space. And you do come across all these other organisms as well. Some of them can hurt you, so you have to sort of try and avoid that. But then you as an organism can also hurt them back, like eat them. And it's just really chill. And the thing that was really interesting about this game was you're not using the thumbsticks to control movement. It's gyro on the controller. So you're essentially moving the whole controller around, and it took me a few moments to get the concept of it all, as I was trying to get it to move around. Because if you move too far one way, it's going to immediately turn your organism around. So you have to be very sort of almost like you're holding the controller very delicately, because it's a very sensitive movement. So as you're sort of moving through, but you can use the X button to boost your organism to sort of like have a little short burst of like, I don't know if it's like energy or like a bit of like a speed or something like that. But that's the only button you press. But then the rest of the time you're just sort of using your controller, sort of moving it around to swim through the space. And you just have to keep diving and diving until you'll get to a point where it then resets, but then you become a different organism. So you're essentially just going into kind of like a circle of life kind of a thing.
Or it's like evolution, like you're evolving as an organism.
Yeah,
right?
essentially. Yeah. So that's pretty much what Flow is. So if you're looking for just something really short and you just need to just chill out, you don't need to think about anything, but but you want something. Flow's really good. It's very, very calm, very cozy, all that sort of stuff. Yes, Ron.
Is there a platinum trophy for it?
I checked. There is not.
Okay. I figured because it's so short, I figured.
Well,
yeah.
Not only that, it makes sense because of the timing. Because as I mentioned, it was, even though it is on modern consoles, it was originally like a PS3 launch title, which was before trophies were even a thing. So they would have added trophies later, so they probably wouldn't have added a platinum to it.
Yeah, no, there's no platinum to this one, no.
That also explains all the motion stuff, because back when the PS3 came out, one of the biggest features was they took the rumble out so you could have the 6-axis motion.
Yes.
So you could like do this with your controller and it like moved around.
I remember that in Warhawk. That was fun.
Yeah, driving the plane. Oh, that demonstration, that famous E3 demonstration of Warhawk, where the person on stage could not fly the plane and they just kept flying into walls because they were trying to drive it with the 6-axis.
It was pretty wonky. It was.
Yeah. Nah, it was a really good experience. There's a few trophies in there where it expects you to get through it without being like hurt or eaten by other organisms, but I feel like that one would be a bit more of a challenge. So if you want a bit of a challenge that's going to take you another extra like hour or so, then you can definitely go for it. But like I said, there's no platinum for this one. But it was a really chill time, so I'm definitely looking forward to going into Journey and Flower, because I've never played those ones as well, so that'll be good. So thank you, Ron.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Paul.
And another game that I was gifted was from my workmate, and they gifted me 3 games, but through Steam, and one of them is Cozy Caravan. And this one's a really cute one. And
Is that what you played a demo of?
No, I haven't. Lockleth might have.
There's a lot of caravan stuff out there.
Like the Caravan of Courage, the famous movie featuring the Ewoks. Exactly.
Anyway.
That was exactly the response I
Thank you, Koala.
Cozy Caravan is a cute little game where you play as an anthropomorphic animal who goes around on a caravan that sells like produce, essentially. So you go around to different farms, you get to source your ingredients to sell them, but then you can also use those ingredients to create meals, which can also be sold or you can eat them. There's also a few little like fetch quests from NPCs that are, asking you for help. So they need you to go and get something for them, or they want you to take photos for them. So it's really cute and very very adorable. But your caravan is pulled by a giant bumblebee, and it's adorable and fuzzy. And what's this question? Which button do you press to calm your farm? Oh my!
That's what Sean says.
Sean, no. That's not how that works. Don't you start now.
Hold on, let me get the counter going.
L3, oh my gosh. Well, speaking of, controller buttons, this particular game, although it's in early access right now, it is definitely better to play with a controller. So you do play Cozy Caravan with a controller. You'll have a better experience out of it. And it's just really cute and wholesome. And they have some voice acting in it, but the voice acting isn't in English. It's just sort of gibberish.
Oh, Charlie Brown talk.
It's really cute though, because it's mostly gibberish, but it's kind of like just like talking sounds essentially.
So like Simlish, like from The Sims.
Kind of, yeah. So you'll get like text dialogue come up, so you'll be reading a little bit, but it's not that much. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say
The bumblebee, handling the caravan is a little strange to me. I just don't know why a bumblebee of all things.
Like,
do you have to feed it? And what do you feed it?
No,
honey?
you can pet it, and you can pet it.
Bumblebee.
but like,
Yeah.
aren't you worried that it's gonna fly in the air and it's gonna take the cozy wagon with it into the sky?
I mean,
No, you're all down on the ground, and the bumblebee is harnessed up to the caravan, and you're just sort of buzzing along.
does your caravan have a weight limit? Because I've assumed that a bumblebee can only carry but so much.
All it needs, it's like a horse. It just needs to haul it. That's all.
Well, I was gonna say this sounds like a
There's
really
no such thing
big
as a horse.
bumblebee.
Bumblebee.
It is. That's what I'm saying.
There's a horse fly.
It's a massive bumblebee. It is huge. It is horse-sized bumblebee.
And if that's the case, there's gonna be a lot of buzzing the whole time that you're traveling somewhere.
Yeah,
Get
that's
on my
all you
nerves.
hear as you're driving along. All you're hearing is bzzz.
But that doesn't seem calming at all.
That doesn't sound cozy at all.
No.
But then when you stop driving, it stops the buzzing.
But like,
It's so cute though.
how? What?
This is confusing. Shouldn't it continue to buzz?
The lore of this game makes no sense.
So when your caravan's not moving, your bumblebee is dead.
Lockleth would be defending me because I know she enjoyed it.
The Lockleth?
The Lockleth, yes. The Lockleth.
Oh.
Well, this is interesting.
It's cute. I really like it. I just wish there was a koala character that I could have been able to, select to become. But instead, I decided to go with a badger because I'm a Hufflepuff. So I went, you know what? Let's go badger. And they do have a little bit of customizing as well, where you can customize the look of your animal and of course the outfits that it gets to wear. And I think you get to buy outfits in the game as well, but I don't think I've hit that far into it. But I've played maybe a kind of like a hour and a half to 2 hours ish. Yes. Hufflepuff pride.
The last thing I would want to see when I'm trying to buy produce is a badger, because I don't want to feel like being hassled for my pricing.
No. You go around. You don't buy them. You go and help other farmers pick their crops.
And then you steal the produce.
They give you some as your, like, you've earned it. Here is some of the crops you picked, and we'll give it to you.
Oh, so you gently take it from them without paying for it, but you're not stealing.
No, that is your payment. That is the payment you get.
No. I want real hard cash here. I don't want
potatoes. You get the cash for selling the produce.
I would rather them just give me the cash.
No,
I don't want to have to put in the work after I've already
cut
worked.
The middleman out.
Oh, I work to sit there and get the produce, and then I have to sell it. Instead, you just give me cash for the help I put in.
That's the whole point of this. This is farming.
Clearly, Ron is not a fan of the cozy caravan.
No. This farm will not be calmed. Thank you.
Wow.
It's another one for the count. 1 second.
Oh, this is wild. What kind of game is this? This is not cozy.
It's cute. It is cute. It is wholesome. Lochlith, where are you? I need you.
Yes, Lochlith, please explain
here.
how farming is cozy and fun.
I mean, we understand that farming is cozy and fun, but this just sounds like a lot of work. This just sounds like
you, Ryan. This
sounds like a game
where
you're just doing chores.
This not sounding like a good time.
This sounds like chores to me.
Bumblebees buzzing in your ear the whole trip? No.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Let me bring up a video.
I don't know if the video is really going to sell us on this.
Oh, come on, as if it's not going to sell it to you.
Oh, man.
Yes, Hufflepuff is the best house. Thank you, people. Thank you, friends.
Y'all keep saying Hufflepuff, and I'm assuming that's a Harry Potter thing, and I don't know anything about
It is.
Harry
It is a Harry Potter thing, indeed.
Oh my goodness. All right, hold on. I'm gonna bring up the video for you right now, and you are going to see how adorable it is.
I mean, is there going to be buzzing the whole time?
I hope not.
Oh, by the way,
the audio's off, so you'll be fine.
While Fulia, we'll have Fulia do this, and then I'll say what I was going to say because there's some breaking news.
That's a nice little badger. His little suspenders.
Yeah. So this is like you get to sort of choose your thing. So this is obviously a little developer's walkthrough, but yeah, and then you go around, you come out of your little house, and then you end up going down to where's the part? There you go. There's Bubba the frog, and you're essentially helping out to get things done. See? Then you've got people here asking for help. Keeps.
I have not seen any bears yet. Where are the bears at?
Look, this is how you do the farming, and you collect all of the produce. You go around, you're helping, you're picking things. You know, you're helping people from a little bit of strife they're in.
That's a huge
bee. That is not a bumblebee.
That is
some kind of weird mutant.
She did say it was massive, Ron. This is not a surprise.
That bee is huge.
There you go. See, this is the little market that you get to work in. So you essentially open up your caravan to be like a little mini market.
That badger's really examining that carrot a lot.
He's snoozing. Yeah. There you go. You get paid for it.
Yes, thank you, Ant. That is not a bee.
Get out of here, Antonio. Yeah, it's really cute.
A lot of animals around. No bears though. I don't know if this is approved.
You can choose it to be a bear if you want to as well.
They just chose not to, Ron.
All right.
There you go. And then this is how the bee hauls the caravan. See?
Again, there's got to be an animal in this world that like is more suited to ground transportation than a bee.
That seems like the kind of thing that if that bee gets just severely upset, it's going to be on.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to die.
That's a giant stinger, Ron.
There's no stinger on this bee, all right?
Then it actually isn't a bee then.
It's not a bee after all. Then. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I played.
Okay.
This is great.
Okay.
I love it.
It's
certainly cute and adorable, and I don't care what you two say.
Or
anyone else.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep playing it.
Well, la-di-da, Fulia.
Thank you.
La-di-da.
Oh, my.
My God.
I, too, want carrot cake, though. Yes, that character is right. Carrot cake is great.
So, friends, I'm gonna turn fully the screen off for a second here. There's been some breaking news this evening that I thought I should point out that we should. This is a trailer that we should go watch after the show. But Last of Us Part 2 trailer is out. For the TV show. It's very cool. I'm very, very excited about it. I'm screaming through it a little bit here, and it's hitting all the beats from the game that look really awesome. So
yep, I'm looking forward to looking at that then.
I am excited because there's a scene with a golf club in the video, Ron.
Is there?
Yes.
Oh. Well, my interest has dialed up even longer. Whoa.
Yes. Seth points out it's literally 25 seconds, but like I did not expect to actually see it this soon. It's coming out next year. But Last of Us 2 teaser is out for season 2. Let's go.
They did a great bang up job with season 1, so this is good.
Exactly. Yeah. If Matt was here, he'd be freaking out right now.
Yeah. Matt would probably sit there and take a time out and would probably watch it.
That's all the more reason why I had to mention it. Was like if Matt was here, he'd be like, he'd tell us we'd have to go watch this. Whereas I don't want to see copy claimed on YouTube just yet.
Understandable.
And I know that Max will do that. So we will resist the urge to watch it together on the podcast. But anyways, in later news, with my games that I played this week, as people know, it's the Olympic Games this week. And I have been very, very busy. I've been working 11-hour days every single day this week. So I have not had a lot of time to play games this week, unfortunately. But I actually pulled out my Sega Genesis Mini 2, played a bunch of Genesis games, just random Genesis games. Didn't really finish any of them, just, played around with it. It's a cool console. I did like a full review on the channel back in the day when it came out last year. And I think it's actually a really solid emulation console. If people are into Sega games, it's got a good collection of games already on it. But since I have the Japanese version, it actually has a different selection of games, including some Japan-only games that I wish were translated in English, because there are some really top-tier role-playing games in there that we didn't get in the English version of this console and are not translated into English. Plus, also, Magical Schoolgirl Silky Lip for the Sega CD, which is like this magical schoolgirl role-playing game that I had never heard of before until I got the console. And it's got this really awesome, Sailor Moon kind of intro and stuff. It's so good. It's so good. I'm like, I really want to track down a translation patch and actually play it. So, shout out to the Sega Genesis Mini 2 for being a great console. But then the other thing that happened this week, of course, I played more Final Fantasy, but there were no updates for that, is we did a little tournament bracket stream yesterday on Twitch, twitch.tv/carpoolgaming live, where the Locklith and the Bowser both did tournament brackets to determine what their next game was going to be. Locklith is actually playing Cult of the Lamb, was the winner of her bracket. And then Bowser's winner was a Ranger, a puzzle role-playing experience. And then I also did my own tournament bracket, which determined the winner. So as voted on by the people, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is the game I'm currently playing. I actually played it yesterday a whole lot because it is my first Luigi's Mansion game. I've never played any of the other ones, including Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube. And I literally spent 5 hours playing it yesterday because I actually had a lot of fun with this game. I'm going around, I've got a vacuum cleaner, I'm sucking up ghosts, I'm playing on the potato run using my potato controllers.
For anybody that was watching the brackets were a great time. But the shenanigans that happened in Ryan's tournament, which always happens, the shenanigans always
Every
happen.
time.
Stellar Blade was beaten. Stellar Blade. This was beaten. This is what Luigi's Mansion is what beat it. Disgusting, appalling. It's a farce.
Ron, those Nintendo fans are out of control, is what you're trying to tell me here.
I am so sad that I missed out on this tournament stream because I was working.
It was wild, but it was great though. It was great times. Look at that.
So here's the full bracket here. I even kept the scores, the chat scores, based on how each game's voted. But Ron, you say Stellar Blade. Should have taken it against Luigi's Mansion, but it was in close against Arzette, the Jewel of Faramore, the round.
That was even more disgusting. I don't don't get me started on Arzette.
Like it almost like lost to Arzette, and then also almost lost to This Way Madness Lies. In fact, almost every round except for Prince of Persia, the last round.
I knew Seth was going to say it.
Yeah,
Arzette had no business going that far.
I don't know. Again, Seth, it lost simply because you weren't here, because your vote would have made it actually propelled it over.
Yeah,
so,
no, good thing that Seth had other things to do. Thank goodness, because Arzette beating Stellar Blade would have been enough for me. That would have no.
Ron, come on.
Koala, have you seen Arzette? It looks like the worst Philips CDI game ever made.
That's the best part. That's what makes it cool.
It's horrible.
But look, I may not have seen it, but I have heard about it, and Seth talks really highly about it. So it must be a good game.
Seth is my guy. I love him. But he also will not play Ghost of Tsushima. I cannot trust this. I'm sorry. Arzette over Ghost?
Wow.
No
Here
thanks.
we go again. But yes, so I'm playing Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. I know it's a travesty that it won, but the people voted for it. So, there are people out there
They
that
did.
really wanted
They
me to
did.
play this. So,
I also want to count out that somebody snuck in at the last minute to bump up.
Oh, no.
So it wouldn't be a
that's
tie.
the thing, Ron. It's that Stellar Blade was up by 1, and 2 people bumped in at the last minute to not because they both tried to make it a tie, but they actually just propelled
the
Luigi's
two
Mansion
people
to
who
the
did
win.
that. I hope that next time you sit there and try to make a sandwich, you have no lunch meat. Eat bread. That's just it.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
Yeah.
Look,
But-
wait till I sit down and do a tournament bracket on the stream.
I'm excited.
Then we'll see.
I'm
can't
excited for
wait.
it, but you know what? You have a lot. You have a lot of quality picks on that. Notice I said quality. Quality
yeah,
picks
quality.
on your bracket. I don't think I'll be upset with any of the games that win on your bracket whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you saying, Ron, that my bracket was not full of quality picks? I think there were some good games there. Good games.
Wow.
Look, Bubsy didn't
Ron.
even make the list this time. You can't even fault me for that. There was no Jaws this time, or James Cameron's Dark Angel, or Alias, or Charlie's Angels on the
Hold on.
GameCube.
Yeah. Yes, Herman. Yeah.
Oh no.
I know. I had nothing to do with Stellar Blade losing. I did my best. Please. I understand. Yeah, but I'll have
Tell
to
him
talk
I
to you
said
later.
hi.
I'll have to talk to you later. I'm doing the show right now, but we're gonna holler. All right.
The best part is Stellar Blade kind of lost its strong because I've already decided that after I'm done Luigi's Mansion, I'm just going to play Shining Force CD because it keeps losing, and I really want to play it.
That is a shame because Shining Force, the old ones, of course, are great games.
Yeah, and Shining Force CD, I've never played it, and I love the Shining Force games, the old ones. So yes, I've decided that that's what I'm playing after Luigi's Mansion. So Stellar Blade's just going to have to wait.
It's all right.
By the time I'm done both those games, Ron, Visions of Mana will be out, the World of Warcraft expansion will be out, Star-Lord's Outlaws will be out, Astrobot will be out, so I won't even
You
have
said
to
a whole
look for
bunch of good stuff. There was a game that you said at the beginning that my brain kind of shut off for a second and then
it.
it
Yeah,
came
World
back
of
on.
Warcraft, it's great.
No, it wasn't World of Warcraft. That wasn't the one that did it.
Visions of Mana?
Who?
That game's great. That had a good demo.
Stop
Yeah.
looking at your wrist.
Just get out of here.
My watch,
Yeah,
my watch started. It's broken. Oh. Okay, it's good.
Apparently
Broken.
Kiku likes to remind me I'm made up of bad games. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, I do have this copy of Indiana Jones in the
Oh
Temple
no,
of
you're
Doom
still
on
pushing
the
that.
NES.
Stop. That game made an appearance like 3 or 4 times on the bracket yesterday.
Well, I mean, not as many times as Terminator 2 on the NES.
Everybody
I
needs to
still
go
had my
back and
NES.
watch the replay. Watch the replay of the brackets. It was
Yeah, I
a
need to
great
go
time.
watch the VOD.
It was a great time.
Well, here's an actual good game that I just have sitting here: G.I. Joe: The Atlantis Factor on the NES. This is actually a good game, made by Capcom, no less. When Capcom made good games.
Well, Capcom had its phases. They also made the Bionic Commando.
Why Commando's good? Get out of here! Oh my god!
He can't hold it in.
I just can't do this anymore. I can't.
Hey Ryan, can I just also point out great T-shirt?
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Really
yeah.
cool.
Well, see, there you go.
X-Men
X-Men.
97.
Yep.
I watched Deadpool Wolverine on it last week.
Nice.
Really
I
good.
haven't seen it.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I'll see it Wednesday.
I'll see it at some point. Maybe after seeing Alien Romulus, which is probably the next movie I see in theaters, because I'm excited for that. But anyways, we should probably get into our topic of the week. So it's time to talk about, speaking of bad games, I guess, games. These are the games that we've shelved, games that we have played, tried to give second or even third chances to, or even just first chances, and decided they're going back up on the shelf. We tried to love these games, but we couldn't love them the way we love other games. So we're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about the games that we have put on our shelf. And as always, when we start with the topic of the week, we go to the Carpool Gaming's marketing manager, Ron, to start us off.
My first one's going to be Hades. That is the game that really showed me that roguelikes and roguelikes are just not for me. I loved everything about the game. I enjoyed the combat. I enjoyed the downtime of getting to know the characters. I enjoyed the look of it because I've enjoyed the other games from that dev. But that game loop, I am a barbarian. When I kill something, I want to stay dead. I do not want to have to keep running into it over and over and over again. I kill a boss, I want it to be over with. I don't have to do that in Elden Ring. I kill a boss and you're done. Why do I have to keep running into this over and over again? So I tried so many times. I quit. I install it. I play some other games. I was like, you know what? Let me give it another chance. I think I tried about 4 times with that game, and I was just like, yeah, this is just not for me. So as much as I wanted to love that one, Hades, I just couldn't do it. The gameplay loop is just not my thing.
Yeah. Because I think we talked about this before, but I just don't think you're really into roguelikes, and that's okay.
It's not my
I'm not into roguelikes either. Like I kind of feel the same way about Hades and other games like that. Like the only one I've really been able to get into is Dead Cells. I think it's the only roguelike game I've really been into. But otherwise, for the most part, they all feel like misses to me personally. Like I've just never really been into those at all either. So totally understandable, my friend. I know people love Hades, and Hades 2 is coming out too. So
yeah, I mean, I wanted to love it. I really did, because like I said, I've enjoyed their other games, but yeah, man, that just couldn't do it.
I mean, Kia just comes in here and says, "Fifth time's the charm. Try again."
No, Kia. Go to bed, young lady.
No, stay. It's fine.
Please stay. All right. Fuya, how about you? What's your first one for us?
So when this sort of topic came to mind, my interpretation of a shelved game is a little different, I think. I think that when you shelve a game, it's a potential I might come back to it kind of a game that you've started it, but you haven't touched it in a while. So you're like, I'll probably come back to it at some point because you've moved on to other things. So that's kind of my interpretation to what a shelved game is. So that's kind of where I'm going to go with this. So yeah, forgive me for not getting into the context of what a shelved game was.
No, that's fine. Yeah. Everyone kind of interprets this type of thing differently too, and it's also one of those things too where like I'm always the type of person where I'll usually never swear a game off, where I'll never be like I'll never play you again, because I've always given other games second chances before and even third chances to maybe win me over, because you never know. Maybe it's a time and place thing, maybe it's a mood thing, or maybe it's something like that. Like it could be a number of factors. So I can understand where you're coming from with this.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm going to interpret this topic. So my first one is Yakuza 0. I played quite a bit of it, actually. I really did. And I was really loving the story of it and all that sort of stuff. But unfortunately, because of the style of game that it is and the amount of like frustrating beat 'em up sections that you have to go through to play through that game, I kind of decided that I just like it's one of those type of games that I need to be in the mood to play it, I suppose. So I haven't actually played it in a little while, so I'm gonna keep it on the shelf for now, just till I feel like that's what I want to get back into. And I really do. I really want to go back into it because the story is actually really interesting. I'm really enjoying the story of the Yakuza game. And especially now that the Like a Dragon Yakuza series has been announced, it has me more sort of maybe motivated to go back to it, to play and sort of finish off Yakuza 0 at least, because apparently the series is going to be sort of start off with 0 in terms of where the story is going to go. Yes, Ron?
Where do I begin?
I kind of figured you had something to say.
I'm so hurt by this. You know
I'm not
how much
saying that.
I know.
I'm not saying it's a bad game. For me, it's just a mood thing, you know.
I know, but I also know that you get distracted easily.
I do.
And what starts off as Ron, I have not forgot about Yak Zero. We will have the same conversation this time next year. And I will be like, Koala, what happened to Yak Zero? And you'll
There
be like,
are other
oh.
games, Ron, okay? Sometimes you're walking down the street with your girl and then you just look over there and you're like, you know? Like, sometimes that just happens.
I don't want this to happen to Yak Zero because it is so outstanding. That's all. That's all.
Look, here's the thing, right? I went out of my way to buy every single Yakuza game when they were on sale for like less than $6.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to at some point play through them all. It's just going to be a bit of a time.
It's going to take a while. I understand that.
Yeah.
That's a time investment there. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. So I will go back to Yakuza 0 at some point. It will happen. I just at the moment I'm just not sort of in the mindset for it.
I'm going to hold you to that. You know I keep receipts. Yeah,
I know you're gonna clip this for sure.
Oh, I will. Yeah. You know I will. And I'll keep it in my pocket for later, just in case.
Yep. I'll expect it.
But I'm sure that you know, where there's going to be other games we're going to at least mention as well that'll disappoint Ron equally. So I'm very excited about this. So anyways, Fuya, moving on. My first pick is actually one that Ron mentioned when he was talking about his stuff. That game's Elden Ring, which is like the truest example of a shelved game for me, where I famously talked about this with Sean Capri as part of the Xbox Drive back when Elden Ring was a new game, where I played it. I was like, all right, I'm going to, you know, I was really enjoying the first like 15 hours of Elden Ring. And I was getting really into it. But then I felt myself slipping a little bit after the first 15 hours. And, you know, I was like, you know, trying to just force myself to play it by the 20 to 25 hour mark. And I was like, okay, if I'm not back in this fully by the 30 hour mark, I'm going to shelve this game. And I got to the 30 hour mark and I was like, I think I'm good. I don't think I need to, I'm going to put this game, pick up the case, just slide it back onto the shelf. I'm good. I don't need to play any more Elden Ring, at least for now. Maybe one day I go back to Elden Ring because, you know, it is a shelved game, as Fuya pointed out. There is potential to return to it. But for now, you know, 30 hours was all I kind of needed because I was like, nah, you know, I've played as much of this game as I probably need to play because I'm not really feeling it. And maybe it was a mood thing. Maybe it was a time and place kind of thing.
Yeah.
With Elden Ring. Maybe there's a time where I really crave that kind of game, but for me, you know, Elden Ring one day maybe we'll play you again. But for now, you sit on the shelf right over there with the other games.
Oh, the pain. My goodness. Where is John? Where is John 32 when I need him? Where are the Elden Lords?
I don't
Where
know
are the
a John
Elden Lords
32.
in training?
I know a Jan 32 though.
All the Elden Lords in training. I need you. I need your help.
Our first games that we open up with, and Ron's so disappointed.
Oh, the disappointment's going to continue. I have another one that I know is going to make Ron very upset.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Why am I even on the show today? Why am I here?
I'm not even doing it on purpose. Like Elden Ring
Yeah.
is just one of the most famous examples of one I've talked about on podcasts. That's just like the perfect shoe-in for this tonight's category. So,
All right. That's fine.
I'm sorry, Ron.
Ron. Just brace yourself for our lists.
Oh, God.
Just know in our hearts we still love you. Okay.
Oh,
Yes,
boy.
yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So my next one isn't going to do. I don't think it's going to disappoint anybody. Because if they played the first game and then the second, they would understand why. Gravity Rush 2. That's another one. It just was not the first. The first one had a certain charm to it. Cat was great. It was just a fun game. The story didn't really make any sense. You didn't really get any closure for what was going on or whatever. But that's fine. That's fine. I could give a pass for that when the game is so fun. Gravity Rush 2 was just, I don't know. it's like the camera got worse. The combat just. I appreciate all the extra styles that they tried to shake up with the game, and it just didn't work. The story was the stealth sections were not good, and that's one I think I tried multiple times as well because I kept trying to. I enjoyed the first one. Let me keep giving this a chance, and yeah, it just was not working. So I've hung that up. I still own it, of course. It's digital, so I can always come back to it again. But I don't know, man. Beautiful game, but it just was not the first one by any means. So yeah, that was quite disappointing.
Okay. I mean, stealth and Gravity Rush is not something
It shouldn't
that
be a
should
thing.
even be a game.
It
reminded me a lot of the stealth missions in Final Fantasy 15 and just made me want to tear my hair out. But I think liked that game a little more than you did, but I can totally understand from your point of view what you talked about, why you weren't super into it. So I'm not going to hold it against you or anything like that. But that's an interesting one. Maybe you revisit it when we get all excited after watching the Gravity Rush live action movie next year.
I don't know about that.
At least maybe we'll get to go back and play the first one because we had that leak of the first one getting a remaster at some point or a remake. So
I'm perfectly fine with playing the PS4 remaster. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's ever going to happen with the remake. I don't know why.
But Ron, what if they did it where the remake was based off the live action movie and it was a live action style remake of Gravity Rush?
No, thank you.
Just like Street Fighter the movie, the game on the Sega Saturn.
The live action looks yuck from what I've seen of it. I don't know. That's okay. No.
Okay. Oof. Fair enough. All right, Fulia, hit us with your next one.
Okay. I feel like my this game is like if Matt Sawinski were here, he'd be very disappointed in me. Because the next Shelved game that I'm going to talk about is Marvel Spider-Man.
Okay. Tell us why.
No, Ron, please.
Come back. For audio listeners, Ron took off his headset and backed away.
Yeah.
But now he's returned.
I know. I'm breaking his heart, man. I feel so bad.
What is going on? What is today's date? Is this the end of days? What is this?
No, I'm sorry, but Arnold Schwarzenegger's not over there trying to fight Satan, okay? Like in the hit movie End of Days. That's not happening.
Oh my God.
Look, so I was actually really enjoying playing Spider-Man. It was really fun just sort of swinging around through New York and just being able to do all the collectibles and stuff like that. So it was actually sort of really good. I think the thing that really got me to put it away for a little while is I think it was just mostly the boss battles really got difficult. And the other thing is though, this game also has skill trees. I don't know where to put my points into certain areas in the skill tree. I don't know what I need. That's my problem. Like I'm not quite sure.
You go with the stuff that you use the most. You always start there.
Oh, well, that's the thing. I don't know what I use the most.
Oh Lord.
I try everything. I want to try everything to see what works.
That's how you do it. Once you click with certain things, you put them there.
Or, I mean, you can always look up a guide if you really have, like, that decision paralysis, and don't know where to go. Like, that usually won't steer you wrong.
True. I'm one of those type of people that really doesn't use a guide unless it's for trophy hunting, and I don't really do that very often.
Oh, yeah. I'm in a similar boat where, like, I usually want to play through the game at least once before I use a guide, but it's also one of those things where if that's the difference between you liking a game and not liking a game, then it might actually help.
I don't know. Maybe that's what I need. But I got through, what was it, like the first boss battle, and then I just started sort of swinging around and just sort of doing side quests here and there, trying to find like the backpacks and all that sort of stuff. And I think the thing that really kind of I don't know if it's not the gameplay itself. It's just me. I'm the whole chasing down vehicles when you're swinging through the city, trying to catch up to them. Mm-hmm. I will I'll get as close as possible. I'll go to press the button to actually attach myself to that vehicle, but then I'll make one wrong swing or turn and it's already another kilometer away from me. And then I have to re-catch up again. Yeah. So I think that's the thing that really frustrates me a little bit, just the car chase scenes where you have to really catch up with them. Because I'm not very good at traversing quickly. I'll do it in my own time. Let's just swing through and just have fun with it. And sort of, learn which way is going to work best for me to get to certain places. But the car chasing stuff really annoys me.
Okay. Yeah, I think that they did a much better job with that in the second game, or also Miles Morales. Like, I think they improved like the car chase minigames a little bit, but
yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, it's not I'm not going to touch it again forever kind of thing. Like I said, it is shelved. I will most likely get back to it at some point. But I feel like the moment I get back to it, I'm going to have to relearn how to do everything. Yes, Ron.
So when you were making your list, did you have a dartboard of all Ron's favorite games? And you were like, how can I continue to break his heart like it's never been broken before? And you just kept tossing darts and just...
You want it? Look, we're on a PlayStation podcast. I wanted to touch on the PlayStation games that I've shelved, and these were the ones that I wanted to touch on.
How ironic. They seem to be my favorites. This is... Wow. It's like he went on my backlog, just like, where's all the lists that Ron has for his GOAT games? And he was like, let me get these.
I could say God of War, but I don't know when I'll get back
Everybody's
to that
going to already knows about you and your hatred for pure Atreus.
Yeah. Now, fully, I also want to say something about Spider-Man in particular, because I don't know if y'all knew this, but when Spider-Man came out, I played it and actually had a similar kind of reaction to it that Fulia just described, where I mostly wasn't even progressing the story. I was going around collecting the bad cacks and just exploring the city and doing mostly that stuff. I also didn't really love chasing the car minigames either, because to your point, Fulia, if you mess up at all, you kind of have to backtrack, and it's a long time to kind of catch up again. And
then you have to restart it all over again if you miss it. Yeah.
Exactly. And then, when I was doing the story stuff at the beginning, I just wasn't really enjoying it. So I also shelved Marvel Spider-Man for a time. So it actually, over the Christmas of the following year, when Miles Morales was announced and was starting to come out, I actually went back to Spider-Man and gave it a second chance with a different frame of mind, and I totally fell in love with it. So I would encourage you, maybe give it some time, maybe find a window of time where you've got some time to retry it, and maybe give it another chance, because I'm so glad I did, because I really, really enjoyed it, and then had Miles Morales to then pick up from there, and had a blast with that, because I do think that, as we talked about in last week's show, I actually think Miles Morales is such a better game than the original Spider-Man anyways, that you might actually enjoy that even more. So I think that's something to consider at some point when you're ready to give it another chance.
Okay.
But I was very tempted, Ron, to go with another pick, but I feel like we need to let you down. Leave you alone
just keep the pain coming.
No. I have one
right.
that I know you're not going to like, but we'll get to this one first. Because if Matt was here, he'd be shaking his head, because he just finished this game pretty recently, and that's Dead Space Remake. I shelved Dead Space Remake because I played it. Well, it was after it came out in January. And I just wasn't really feeling it. I love the original Dead Space. I played it on Xbox 360 and almost got the 1,000 gamer score. I then played it on PS3 and almost got the platinum trophy. I love Dead Space that much. But when it came around to playing the remake, I just wasn't really super into it. I don't know why, if it was a mood thing, time and place thing. That's one of those games where it was on my last tournament bracket that I did back in July, but it didn't win. But it's one that I do want to give another chance to at some point, the Dead Space remake. Maybe, like I said, maybe it was just I was playing in mid-January and I wasn't really feeling a horror game at the time, because I think that was mostly what it is. Because I ended up playing a very uplifting game after that, a more of a cozy game after that. So Dead Space Remake is a game that should have been a slam dunk for me, but I don't know, it just got picked back up and put back on the shelf with the other games. And I'll play it at some point. Down the road, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. See?
All right.
Well, finally, Ron can feel at ease. I didn't break his heart with this one.
Well, Dead Space, I mean, I'm not a big giant survival horror guy, so that's not going to really hurt me. Like, now, it would have hurt Matt. If Matt was here, he would have been hurt by that.
Oh, I know. I know.
Yeah. My next one, Marcus O'Neill, if you're listening, I'm sorry. Red Dead 2. I have talked about this before.
Wow. Yeah,
That
I
was
heard about
this
the
reaction, by
comments
the
about
way, of
this,
me
yeah.
flailing my arms. I'm like, thank you, Ron. Thank you for saying what needed to be said. Continue.
The original Red Dead is one of my favorite games of all time. Red Dead Redemption 1 was just an outstanding game. I loved it. All Rockstar had to do for me was just give me updated graphics, and you could have just pretty much have kept everything the same, and I would have been fine. But no, Rockstar had to go and be weird and throw survival mechanics and management stuff. I don't need to worry about cutting the wolf skin and then having to race back to camp before the meat goes bad. I'm not worried about feeding the people at my camp. Let them feed themselves. I don't have time for this. I have shootouts to get in, banks to rob, and people to kill. I'm not worried about all this kind of stuff. I don't need to smoke to get my dead eye ready. I am a Western badass. I don't need to smoke to get ready to sit there and nail somebody with a few shots.
The true bear has come out.
I'm just saying, it was disgusting. And I was just like, what is this part of the game? I don't know how many times I restarted this one. Even when I took Marcus and Matt's advice about trying to ignore the survival and the management stuff, and it still didn't work for me. I was done. I still have it. Maybe one day, maybe, I will try to give it a try again for the who knows how many times I have tried. But that is, man, that's one on the shelf that I was severely pissed about.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, just talking about it, just all the memories.
Yeah.
I wanted to love that game.
You brought back so many of those memories back for me, too. 'Cause that was also a game I was not into because I do not love survival mechanics in a game. And
Yeah.
there was just so many systems upon systems in that game. And it also just didn't help that your character just walked like he was just trudging through molasses the whole time. I love the gorgeous visuals, and the story was really good.
It was.
But
it
like
was.
all the gameplay stuff just totally bogged it down for me, which is too bad. Because I
If you didn't
wanted
make
to
it
like that
accessible,
game.
you could have they could have gave us the option to turn it off, and that would have been perfect. But nope, Rockstar's like, you're gonna play the game. We want to play it. All right, cool. I just won't play it at all. Thank you.
I mean, it really reminded me of what they did with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, with all the survival mechanics that they brought into that. Like they were less impactful, I think, than what was on display
I
here.
mean,
But
it was there. And like you said, I mean, you could get away with not having to. I mean, if you did it, it helped a few things. Maybe you could run longer if you exercised a lot and all that kind of stuff. But like you said, it wasn't intrusive.
Yeah.
You can still play
Like,
the
it was
game and still have a good
perfectly
time with it. Yeah.
Whereas
but,
like this, you really had to be into that stuff to be into it.
And don't forget about brushing your horse. If you want them to stay loyal during a shootout and not run away.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. I don't have time to brush my horse.
They tried to make it too real.
Yeah. They went a
too
little
much.
too far with it.
Yeah, a little too much. Don't forget to dress. If you're going to a cold area, make sure you put on plenty of fur. What is this? I'm not here for this.
Still, I know Red Dead 2 has its staunch defenders. I know a lot of people actually really like that game.
It does.
It just wasn't for us. And that's okay.
Yeah. Like I said, great story. Don't get me wrong. And I loved a lot of the characters. But, man, the art of playing it,
Yep. All right, Fulia, last game.
Okay. So, there's another game that I really liked, but I shelved because I think just timing-wise, there were a lot of other games that had come out at that sort of time that I was really interested in checking out. So, like Ron said, I get distracted. So I got distracted by other games. And unfortunately, this game got shelved because of that. And that's Kena: Bridge of Spirits. It's actually a really good game. I played quite a bit of it, to be honest, and I played a lot. I'm sorry, Ron. I know you're.
For audio listeners, Ron is rubbing his face in disbelief.
He's so heartbroken. He hates my list of games that I just made.
if it was anybody else, Koala, it wouldn't hurt. But because it's you, it's like the M2 blade is just out the back.
Sorry. This is a game that I was actually really enjoying, but I did get frustrated at some of the boss battles to the point where I had to bring the level down to story mode just so that I can get through them because they were getting really tough and challenging. But I still really loved the scenery, the art style was absolutely gorgeous. Like, it's so beautiful. I took a few screenshots from that game, and because I really enjoyed it that much. It just looked gorgeous, and the little sprites that you get to go around and find, they're adorable, and you get to put hats on them, and it's so cute. But yeah, unfortunately, due to my little distracted koala brain, I ended up shelving it because of other games that were coming out around that time. So when I started playing it, and yeah, I do want to go back to it just so that I can finish it off, because I feel like I got maybe halfway through it before I shelved it. But I really did enjoy the story of Kena, so I really do want to go back to it. But yeah, it's just, there's a lot of games right now.
There are a lot of games.
There are a lot of games. I cannot fault you for that. Yep. Boy, what a show. What a show.
Believe me, Ron, there are so many other games that I have shelved from other consoles as well. But
no, you've done enough to me today.
The PlayStation ones are the most hurtful for you, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, it's only going to get better, Ron, because my last game, fully I won't say it, but I'm going to say it. It's God of War Ragnarok. I just couldn't.
Well, I've never played it,
that's
so
that's it. I'm done.
I haven't played Ragnarok.
I couldn't with God of War Ragnarok. I'm sorry.
I'm out of here. Everybody, it's been a great show. Ron out.
So here's the thing, and Ron might understand this a little bit more once I start to describe this. I loved the original trilogy of God of War games and the 2 PSP games. I love that style of combat. I love the way those games play. Yes, the story is super goofy. Yes, there were dumb mini games that don't feel like they would fit in with a modern game. But I just really enjoyed those games a whole lot. I love the way that they play. I love the big bosses and the enemy encounters. The enemy design were so cool in those games. I love that hack and slash style gameplay from the original God of War games. And when God of War 2018 came out and they decided to change everything, I was I really was excited about it because God of War was back. But I also was, not as excited about it because it was going in a direction that I just wasn't really super into. And, 2018, I played it, I had enjoyed it, but I wasn't over the moon about it in the same way that a lot of other people were. It's also one of those things, too, where I feel like that story just hits so much more if you're a parent or if you're, something like that. Whereas I just didn't really empathize it with Kratos or really feel really connected to the story or connected even to Atreus and Kratos' relationship in any way, really. I wasn't really sold on it. So I think that played a big part into why when the sequel came out and when it was more of that I was definitely not into it even more this time around with Ragnarok. So again, that's not a testament to the game itself being a bad game. It's just me not being into that style of game in particular.
No, especially I can understand that.
Especially third person behind the camera melee games like that are really close to the character. I'm not a big fan of. I like the camera more pulled out. Something closer to a Bayonetta or a Stellar Blade or a Ninja Gaiden. That's more of my jam than something that close. And even then, it just felt really slow to me too, in the same way that I felt about Red Dead as well. So again, that's just me personally. I respect and can see the money on display with God of War Ragnarok and can see why people love it. And I recognize it's a fantastic game. It's just not for me. So it is on the shelf. Maybe one day I give it another chance because I played through 2018. And maybe it was just that, I played 2018 maybe a year before Ragnarok came out. So maybe it was because it was so close together. Who knows? But there you go. Ron, we broke your heart enough for the night.
Thank you, Star.
Justice for Ron.
Yes. This show was purposely put together to destroy me, but I won't let it happen.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ron. We tried not to, but
this is what happens when Matt is gone.
I was gonna say expect at least 2 more weeks of this, since I don't think Matt's gonna be back for a while.
Oh, Matt would have never did this to me.
I mean, he might have. He might have.
He wouldn't
surprised you.
have. My little brother would have did that. Nope.
Yeah, unintentionally, he might have actually disappointed you a little bit. But anyways, let's hear from the carpool because we got a lot of questions this week. We're going to start with Matt himself, Nagasaka, who says, "Hi there, first time, long time. Philosophical question: if you've played a game but have shelved it, is it still technically part of your backlog, or is it removed from the backlog since you've technically played it?" This is an interesting question, and I think we all kind of evaluate this one differently. For me, I have a special place on my backlog for shelved games that I've tried but then are on the shelf, because that's different from dropping games, Ron. Okay, putting games on the shelf is different than dropping them, because that means there's no chance of ever coming back to them. Shelved games, have their own section of the backlog for me. So yes, they are technically part of the backlog, but they have their own section of the library. That's how that works. But how about you guys?
I'm the same as you. On my backlog, I have a little section of just where games I'm going to come back to at some point, depending on if I ever have a chance where I just like, you know what, let me give this a chance. I've done it several times with a few games that I came back around to that I didn't like the first time. So they're not technically a part of the backlog, but they are there if I just feel like giving it a shot. They don't even go on the wheel. If I just think about the game, I'm like, you know what, let me give it another shot. I don't bother doing the wheel spin. I just install it and just give it another go. Pyre was one of those where I did that with, where the first time it came out, I didn't really vibe with it, but I was like, maybe I'm just not in the mood for this one, and put it on the shelf for a couple weeks. I think I finished the game, and I was like, you know what, let me go back to that real quick and see how it was. And I ended up enjoying it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm similar in the sense that it's not really. See, it really depends. So my shelved games, they're sitting there for me to get back to. So I might still consider that part of my backlog because I've left them there due to, I don't know, maybe it's a timing thing or if it's a mood thing. So I would say for me, they are still technically part of my backlog because I haven't finished them. But I think I would also agree in the sense that it's its own category of backlog, I suppose, where it's my unfinished games that I need to go back to kind of backlog, whereas the other backlog that I actually have is games that I haven't even started yet, but I own them. So, it really does depend on how you see it, I suppose. But yeah, for me, it's its own version of a backlog, but it is kind of part of my backlog. So, yeah.
Okay. Next up, we got Cwaggy, who says, "It is I, the Cwaggy, Emperor of the Falcon Empire." Is that true, Ron? Is he actually the Emperor of the Falcon Empire?
Falcon and Falcon are two different things.
Look, I'm just reading the question verbatim, Ron, okay?
Quag and Matt have started the Falcon Empire. They are not the same.
I mean, they're kind of the same.
No, Falcon and Falcons are not the same. One's a bird. Another is a game developer.
Caw. That's the noise a falcon makes.
Oh, this is the podcast from hell.
You love it.
Again, Matt, please come back. Please, you're needed. You're watching this. You needed back, please.
Oh my goodness.
See, Sean acknowledges Emperor Quag.
Emperor Quaggy.
Look at that.
Sean.
Falcon Empire.
No.
Caw.
Oh my God.
Anyways, I'll continue with Emperor Quaggy's question. I'm playing Ready or Not on PC, which apparently is a SWAT simulator.
Yeah, he loves it. He loves it.
What is your favorite game where its fan base is not, there are dozens of us, but is just you? I don't know if there is a game for me that is where the fandom is just me. Because as much as I harp on, talk about games like old PS1 RPGs like Lunar or Legend of Dragoon. I've met people in my real life that are actually fans of those games. Even something like Parasite Eve. I talk about Parasite Eve, I feel like a crazy person because I talk about it so much. But I've met other people like Ron that are fans of that game. So it's one of those things where I don't know if there is a game that I really enjoy that it's just me. that is the fan base. But do you either feel that way? What do you all think about this?
I guess if I kind of twist the question around a little bit and think about a game that maybe I like that I haven't ran into too many people who also feel the same way about that I do, I guess it could be Grandia 2. Several of my friends who have played that, we are like the only ones I know that seem to have liked that game. Everybody else does not seem to be a fan of Grandia 2 for whatever reason. That's about the only thing I can think of, though. As far as like a game that not too many other people like, because there's always going to be more than one person that likes a game. So
that's what I mean. Like
sure.
no matter what example you come up with, like that's what you're gonna run into.
That was a hard question. Yeah. I couldn't think of it. At least not in my game library.
Yeah. What about you, Fulia?
I'm gonna say I don't think I've heard many people like harp on about how good the Agatha Christie Hercule Poirot games are. I feel like
Okay.
I feel like I'm probably one of the only ones that really praises the stories for it. I haven't really heard anyone else really talk about how good they are, or just in terms of that they're fans of it. Like I haven't met many fans of the Hercule Poirot games, to be honest, and I feel like I'm like one of the minorities.
Okay. Shout out to Sean. Bubsy, yes.
Now, there are lots of fans of Bubsy. You'd be surprised. There are literally dozens of fans of Bubsy, okay?
And
or
Angel,
even,
Pepsi Man, yes.
But there's 2 fans of Pepsi Man on this panel, Ron. Like, I'm not the only one. And even same with all the Sega games. Like, you go to Sega Lord X channel, or there are so many people out there that actually love Sega, unironically, that I think that you really don't have that. But I came up with a good answer, actually.
The Mega Man DOS game?
No, that's Sean.
Oh, okay.
This one is an old NES game that I played a ton as a child. That I think I'm the only one who ever talks about being a fan of this game. And this game is Predator on the NES, starring
I didn't even know
Arnold
that game existed.
Schwarzenegger. You're going around, you're fighting the Predator, but you're also fighting jellyfish and weird crab monsters and rocks that have googly eyes and like giant seahorses that shoot bubbles at you. And you also fight the Predator in what's referred to as Big Mode, which becomes this giant like side-scrolling game where where like the screen auto scrolls, but Arnold is like it takes up half the screen, and you're avoiding bubbles and then fighting this weird version of the Predator. Look, it's fine. It's a fun game. It's a fun game, I swear. Even though
this does not sound like a fun game.
I might be the only person who's actually a fan of.
I'm starting to think yes. I think it's safe to say yeah.
I mean,
There you
I
go,
tried to
Quack.
actually
Somebody
find
answered that question. Somebody answered that question.
The other one that's in the box here that I actually tried to, because Kiku pointed out that I was fumbling through the box of NES games to try and find a physical to show off. The other one I was trying to find in the box was Nightmare on Elm Street on NES, which I'm also a big fan of, that I feel like no one else is a fan of.
Jesus, I remember renting that, and that did not stay at the house
That's a
long.
good game. That's a good game, Ron. You can play it 4-player with a multi-tap.
Oh, yes.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah,
It's good,
it is.
Ron. Yeah. See, this is why we love Emperor Quaggy, coming up with great questions of the Falcon Empire. Caw! All right.
Jesus.
Moving on.
Xenobabes, Emperor of the Falcon Empire.
I actually prefer the Falcon Empire over Xeno dorks.
You can't just say the Falcon Empire, though. Yeah, we've ruined it now. You have to say the Falcon Empire. Caw!
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. No, thanks.
I mean, all right, fine. We're going to derail the podcast because we have to talk more about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom on the NES. This, of course, comes in a black cartridge because it's made by Tengen as opposed to Nintendo, and they decided to make their own cartridges because they wanted to, okay, I'm not going to get into this. Anyways, moving on. Question from Final Fantasy VIII is Life, Final Fantasy VIII is Love, who says, I haven't shelved too many games, but I know there is one game a lot of people have shelved. Why is it that so many people have possibly shelved one of the greatest role-playing games of all time? The RPG in question, of course, is Final Fantasy VIII.
It's because it's cheeks. That's why. That is the only answer. Final Fantasy VIII is cheeks.
Yeah. I mean, Ron, you said it right there. Next question.
That was an easy question right there.
To be fair, not on this week's episode of RPG Cave, but last week I had a special guest, Lasala, who joined me on the show, and one of her favorite RPGs of all time is Final Fantasy.
Which was shocking.
I
was like, there is another one out there.
Yes. So it's definitely not. So Awesome Dave is not the one person who loves Final Fantasy VIII. There are dozens of us fans.
Yeah, unfortunately, my best friend Max, he loves Final Fantasy VIII also.
Oh, yeah. My games coordinator at work is also a big fan of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, so there literally is dozens of them. I don't know how.
I mean, Sean in the chat even says, I seriously thought about playing Final Fantasy VIII.
Sean, that would be the worst decision that you could make. Please don't.
I don't know. He might actually like it.
I don't know about that.
You know what? Maybe I changed my answer. Maybe
You know
it's
what?
not Shining Force CD. Maybe
I
play
actually do
Final
want
Fantasy
Sean
VIII.
to play that. Put it on the Twitch stream. I want to see that. Because when he runs into that junction system, I can see Sean now. What the hell is this?
Why do I have to extract the magic from my enemies?
Why can't I just do magic? Why am I extracting first? This is stupid.
Why do I receive a paycheck instead of...
You know what's going to be hilarious? If he actually enjoys it and starts, quoting Battle Pride.
I will.
I actually can't wait for Sean to actually really enjoy Final Fantasy VIII and then just show up one day in like a Squall cosplay at some point. Like, that would be awesome.
I have a feeling that Dave will go through the effort to Photoshop Sean onto Squall. Oh man. Now this has to happen now.
Yep.
Extra life.
Yeah, there you go. Extra life. There should be a goal where we all have to.
Dave has already said he's going to sit there and give a presentation on Final Fantasy. Love you, Dave. Love you.
Yep. I mean, Sean points out the intro. The intro itself is awesome.
The intro is wild. I am not gonna talk bad about the intro whatsoever. The intro it's pretty much a setup. It has you thinking, oh, this is gonna be a badass game, and then you start playing it like, man, this game is really cheeks.
Just like the intro to Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom on NES, where it's like it's got the pixelated music from Indiana Jones playing. Indy walks from this cave to another cave, and then you see the rest of the game. And you're like, oh,
yeah, those intros are not the same.
One
intro is badass, the other is not.
Anyways, CowboyDangerD has a question for the show. Taking your own personality, if you were put in a video game, would you rather be a controversial main character or a fan favorite side character? I mean, for me, the chances that everyone knows what I'm going to pick here. Of course, I'm going to be the controversial main character, because why wouldn't I be? I mean, I have a very silly takes all this. I just almost did a dissertation on Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom on NES, or Pepsi Man, or Crazy Bus, or any of these other games. Of course, I'm going to be the controversial main character, because I'm also kind of half the villain as well. So that's me. What about y'all?
Controversial main character. I mean, everybody already knows. Some of my takes people don't like. So... controversy is me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say I would rather be the fan favorite side character.
Yeah. That's actually what I thought you were gonna say as well. Like that, I feel like that really fits you for that.
Look, Garl is a great side character and almost the main character in my opinion. He's fantastic. He's fantastic. He deserved better than Sea of Stars. He should have been the main guy.
Yeah, I think I'd like to be the fan favorite side character because I'm quirky and got the koala brain and all that sort of stuff.
Until she chooses to attack her best friend on a show with all the games that he likes and destroys.
It's fine. You can build that into a mechanic where sometimes she just gets the confused mechanic and she just accidentally attacks her teammate. It's fine.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. It always attacks Ron.
What would Matt
Ron's
be?
not in the party?
What would Matt be?
It's difficult to say because it's going to depend. Matt sometimes is the main character depending on, because the guy, when he's playing certain games, that man's confidence oozes over. But then there's other times where he's just the side character and he just wants to bring the fun and the love. And so he's almost going to be like a Garl too, where he's just going to secretly be the main character, but he's a side character.
I feel like based on his personality, he would be a fan favorite side character. If we're reading the question as taking your own personality into account, which one do you fit in? I think he fits in more in the fan favorite side.
He's the people's champ, so nobody will be surprised by that.
That's what I mean. Like that's how I feel about Matt specifically. But all right, Next question comes to us from the captain, who says, question for the show, aliens attack! Exclamation point. You are all given the responsibility to negotiate the terms of peace. Naturally, you are going to use video games as a way of bonding, as we do here, of course. Which co-op games are you going to play with them to make the aliens realize that the Earth was truly worth saving? Rules for this question: if you fail, the Earth is destroyed.
Well, damn.
Yeah, I mean, I told Ryan earlier, this is a difficult question. You have to pick who you're going to be attacking in these co-op games. You sure can't pick any kind of alien attacking games. That's going to be out. And you don't want to sit there and pick something like The Division where the humans are the worst kind of monsters. So it's kind of like, what do we do?
What about the one full experience of The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2, Ron?
No.
It shows off the beauty of humanity right there. You know?
No, thank you.
My answer for this question is actually Earth Defense Force. You gotta play
God.
Earth Defense Force together.
Right.
Shoot alien bugs. I'm sure they'll love that.
We're all gonna die. If Ryan has to be the one
No,
to
but
save
you know
us.
what, Ron? Here's the thing. As long as they're not giant alien insects, then we're probably fine. Maybe they'll enjoy it. You know? Because that's what you fight in Earth Defense Force.
That's fine, because I was going to choose Monster Hunter World. So I guess that works.
Yeah. Or, I don't know if you've heard of this, Ron. What about the hit MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV with a free trial going all the way up to level 70, including the critically acclaimed expansion packs Heaven's Ward and Stormblood?
Damn great choice. That is fine. That is fine. Matter of fact, that will be the game that saves humanity.
It probably would.
Nice choice. Yeah.
They'd be so preoccupied to be like, you mean to tell me I have to finish this game in 300 hours? Then they can't destroy the Earth because they're too busy
the attack
playing
will be
the
off
game.
because they'll get so absorbed in it. So, you know what, Ryan? That was a fantastic choice. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm gonna pat myself on the back.
Great job.
Yeah. The real answer that I'm actually gonna go with is Co-op Catherine, because that's a really good game too. So just gonna throw that there. Can teach them the love. That's all.
Koala's looking.
Yeah, she's looking it up. Do you have an
I
answer?
can't think
Nothing?
of anything. I really can't think of anything.
What about
I'm
Stardew
surprised you
Valley?
didn't say like the
Co-op
Lego
game.
games.
No
or something
Stardew
like that.
Valley? Lego? Yeah.
I don't like Stardew Valley, to be honest.
Oh my.
I tried it. I didn't like it.
Where is Sean and Lachlan at? Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Sean's been here the whole night. He's rolling over. Because
yeah. Sean may have fainted. Oh my goodness.
You know what? I feel like maybe like a racing game. I don't know, maybe like Gran Turismo.
Horizon 5, ma'am.
All right, but we're talking PlayStation here.
Hey, I'm sorry. And PlayStation fans will get mad at me. I'll choose Horizon over Gran Turismo any day.
Gran Turismo's way better. You just get out. Yeah.
I'm sorry. The license test.
Look,
Bump that.
the
I'm not here for that.
tutorial for Forza Horizon alone puts Gran Turismo ahead.
Wrong. Despite what Matt says, there's nothing wrong with that tutorial.
But if we're going cozy and for a very Fulia kind of choice, I would probably say, Astro's Playroom or maybe Sackboy. Because that'd be fun.
Oh
Good.
no, Sackboy might make the aliens mad. There's some parts of that. That,
Nah, when you're playing co-op, you're playing together and you have to actually cooperate.
Oh, there were some moments for me and my friends were like, Some of those levels are not easy.
Well, that's why you have to really communicate to get through
Yeah.
them.
Well, the aliens are gonna get pissed off because they're not gonna understand what we're saying, and it's gonna be on.
It's fine. It's fine, Ron. It'll be fine. Okay? It's fine.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Cool. Well, last question of the night comes to us from Kiku, who says, what game would you like to take all of the copies of and bury in the landfill with E.T. and never see or hear
This
about?
is very difficult.
again?
This is very difficult.
Now, here's the thing, Kiku. I am a video game preservationist. I am someone who feels like all games should be preserved, even bad video games. So, I don't feel like any game should have this treatment. But if you want me to actually answer this question, my answer is Back to the Future Part 2 and 3 on the NES, because this
one
quite
full
possibly,
experience.
this quite possibly be one of the worst games I've ever played in my entire life. The Back to the Future game, the original one, is bad enough. This one, Back to the Future 2 and 3, is just so much worse. It's so much worse. Oh my God. It's rough, y'all. It's rough. It's there's nothing on modern consoles that I've played that has given me as much dismay as Back to the Future Part 2 and 3 on NES. So,
Damn.
here you go. Well, look who's here, Ron. Jan finally made it.
John, I needed you earlier. Elden Ring was being disrespected. I need Elden Lords
It's
to
too
help.
late.
It wasn't
too
disrespected,
late.
Ron. It was just put back on the shelf. It's fine.
That's not the way I felt. That's not the way I felt. Elden Lords don't see it that way.
Yeah. What about y'all? What do you think about Kiku's question?
I'll let Koala go first for this one.
I don't know.
Oh, don't want to put God of War? Don't want to put God of War in the sand?
I've only played one of them. I can't say I want to put the whole franchise
Do you want to put Atreus in the sand?
Don't put words in my mouth.
Just doing this. Just putting words in your mouth.
Do you want to put Atreus? No? Okay. All right. Then.
Shut up and give him your answer.
Look, that's a difficult question. I mean, I could choose the Xenogears Chronicle trilogy. The Last of Us Part 2 could go in there. Every Kojima game that he's written. To pick one is... maybe Zelda 2. I'll put that in
What?
there.
You get out of here.
Yeah.
Don't make me press the
Yeah.
button on it.
Yeah. Zelda 2. I said it.
That's the best Zelda game ever made. And you want to just bury it in a
That
landfill?
Zelda game should have never been made. That Zelda game is
It's the
cheese.
best one. God. Good God. Of course, Kiku is correct here. Ron just
All
wants
the
to bury
games.
all the games.
Not all the games, but all the games that suck. Yeah.
But Zelda 2... You, hold the phone. You tell me that you wanted to bury it over Pepsi Man?
Well, see, I told you it was going to be a lot of games I could choose. Pepsi Man, yeah, definitely. If you want me to choose that, I'll take that.
No, it's just me
Oh,
being
Angel,
surprised.
yes, CDI Zelda, exactly. Put that and RZ together, both of them.
The
Oh,
CDI Zelda games are fun too.
what? No,
I unironically like those games.
no one's going to be surprised by this.
I mean,
Nobody.
Yeah, I mean they've got a level of cheesiness that's just really fun, Ron.
Ew.
All right, I've picked the
All right.
game that I would like
Let's hear it,
to
Felipe.
bury. And I'm gonna stick with PlayStation here. Assassin's Creed 3.
Oh hell no.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I played it. I hated being stealthy. The amount of times that I got caught trying to do things. Don't tell me to get good, because I know this
I wasn't going to say that.
Hashtag get good.
I hate stealth. Don't make me do stealthy things.
You know what? I hate stealth too, but I do enjoy the Assassin's Creed games. I could do the stuff in Assassin's Creed.
I haven't played any other Assassin's Creed game. This was the one that was recommended to me by a salesperson at EB Games.
That salesperson at EB Games should have never did that.
I was like, I want to play an Assassin's Creed game, but I don't know where to begin. What should be the first one I try?
Oh, no.
And they told me 3, and I
Oh,
was
no.
like, okay,
Oh, no.
cool.
Oh, no.
And then I played it on stream, played it a few times, and rage quit.
What Assassin's Creed games were out when he offered this to you?
When was this? This was like, this was probably 2019.
Oh, so most of them. Most
So
of
I'm
them.
about to say, so that means that like,
Everything.
Odyssey
because
must have been out.
Odyssey would have been the newest game.
yeah. See, he should have gone with Origins or Odyssey. Why he would choose 3
See,
over?
here's the thing though. Back then, I didn't actually have a PlayStation 4, so they gave.
Oh,
so
you
I
were
was
on the
looking for
PS3.
games on the
Okay,
Switch.
okay.
So I played it on the Switch.
Well,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, and that and
The
I
Switch.
think
Whoa.
one and-
The Switch can run those?
Well,
Yeah, they
Ron,
do.
Hold the phone. Do you want to know where I played Assassin's Creed 3?
On the Ouya?
I played it on the Wii U. That
Oh,
was
okay.
the console I bought. Assassin's
It was the same
Creed
thing.
3 for.
The Android
Wii U.
Ouya. It's, that Wii, whatever.
Yeah, I wanted it for the cool touch, like the touchpad controls, because you had some cool interface things you could do with it. That is also the console I bought Call of Duty Black Ops 2 the same year for, on the Wii U.
Yeah, I don't know. Assassin's Creed 3, no. Everybody keeps saying that I should try. What game was it that had? I think it was Odyssey, where you don't have to worry about being stealthy.
Yeah,
Is it Odyssey?
Yeah, you don't have to in Odyssey or Origins.
Yeah.
Those two are the better.
Yeah,
Actually, outside of Assassin's Creed 2, I would put those two high on the list.
I mean they're my favorite.
yeah.
And Syndicate I really like too. which was
Seneca's great. But Origins and Odyssey you might enjoy a lot more. They're not, especially Odyssey. I don't think you have to worry too much about the stuff there. But it makes a bit more sense now why he chose Assassin's Creed 3 because you had the console for that was not a good choice. I mean, I don't hate it, but it's not the best of the series, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I traded that in quite quickly.
I still have fond memories of the intro where you're in kind of the big opera house, and you can just they're like, all right, you need to sneak around to get to this person, and the way I stuck around was just hopping on people's heads and then doing like. Because you can just walk on people's heads in that, and they're just like looking up at you, and then you just keep walking.
Oh boy!
Really?
Just go back to what they're doing.
Wow.
That's
I literally did the wall climbing and going up into the balconies and going around the back way.
I just walked on people's heads to get to the wall to climb up it, and it was fine.
John is quite upset from his
You mean yawn? I see yawn.
No, all I see is a John 32. Sorry, I don't do that.
I've been here for 5 minutes. Oh my god.
He is so offended.
I mean, that just kind of plays into the questions we got tonight. So we have fun here.
Yeah, we do.
Well, sometimes.
And you know what? True to my word, Ron, I didn't even mention Pepsi Man once. The rest of the show.
That's fine. Not true.
Well, that's a perfect segue for us to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, starting with our ultimate producers, Jonathan Brown, the man behind the music on this podcast, and the PlayStation and the Xbox Drive. The PlayStation Drive is us. You can find all of his music over at linktr.ee/pme/GIB. And Cwagmire, who humbly reminds you that the best babes are, in fact, Xenobabes. And also, Emperor Quaggy, head of the Falcon Empire. Caw-caw! Who humbly reminds you that
I'll take the Falcon Empire over the Xenobabes, so this is fine.
Links to all of our ultimate producers can always be found in the description of our podcasts. Our platinum producers, Peje, Smokin Joe, The Captain, and Tim Paullin, and our gold members, Adam K, Anna, Awesome Dave 1337, BobLoblaw, Brad Moore, Brian Reese, Cecily Carrozza, CowboyDangerD, Dan and Luma, Dannohh, Drellesh, Emily O'Kelly, Hoppel, Jan32, Kia Savoy, OldMrFrump, Patrice Mallette, Shane Erickson, Tech Mike, the Jiggy Collector, and Tim Aulph. Huge thank you once again to all of our patrons over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Of course, if you want to hop in the car with us, choose the tier that's right for you. Head on over there to patreon.com/carpoolgaming and enjoy all that sweet, sweet content over there. And without further ado, Ron, plugs go.
Savoy Prime on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, Backlog, True Trophies, and Savoy_Prime on Twitter.
And Fulia?
You can find me, Foolish Fuji, on YouTube and Twitch. You can also find me on X and Instagram. But if you want to find all those links and more, you can go to foolishfuji.card.com.
Card,
baby.
Card with 2 eyes.
Yar. And as for me, you can find me over here just playing Back to the Future 2 and 3 on NES. Just hanging out. Collecting clocks. Jumping on big spiky things. It's fine. But you can also find me on the old Twitter, aka X, at Ryan Tuffrin. You also find us on X at Carpool Gaming. Right here, youtube.com/Carpool Gaming, twitch.tv/Carpool Gaming Live, and of course, podcast services around the globe. So, for Fulia and Ron, I'm Ryan. This has been the PlayStation Drive, episode 161. Yes, that's palindrome, folks. And we're out. Good night, everybody.
Adios, friends. Thanks for checking out this week's episode of the PlayStation Drive. Now, before you drive off, please make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us at Carpool Gaming on socials. Don't forget to check out our awesome merch on carpoolgaming.com, and you can also support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, where you'll unlock all kinds of exclusive content. Links to everything